it. Should sex work be covered on the NDIS? What happens when you hit menopause and you're unhappy in your life? If you like someone who says it how it is, look no further than Rachel Griffiths. She's one of our most successful actors and definitely one of the most interesting. A word of warning, Rachel doesn't hold back. Her role as Rhonda in Muriel's Wedding made Rachel Griffiths a global name.
I'm not alone. I'm with Muriel.
I'll say a little prayer for you.
Since then, Rachel has been no stranger to the small and silver screens. With a passion for telling Aussie stories, Rachel's lending her skills to our Kiwi cousins. Her new show, Madam, seeing her star as the owner of a brothel in a small town.
Oh my God. I'm Mac, Rob's wife. Do you like what you do? I see the appeal. Easy money.
So it's Rachel Griffiths, the ethical pimp.
The ethical pimp.
I mean, who knew?
Well, that's the aspiration. How does it go in practice? Well, you'll have to tune in to Madam to find out.
I think you need the business card for that, by the way.
That is actually a really good idea. Wonder what, I think it has to have a penis on it.
You went there so early. I knew this was going to be an interesting
Sorry, I went
chat
so... How do we move on from here? I don't know, I'm kind of stuck down there.
I feel...
Come on, get us...
I feel the only way is up.
Not often we get a female client walk through those doors. You know why? Women are less in touch with their sexuality.
Good to know.
2 questions for you. Do you think you're a good actor?
Oh my God.
I promise I'm not being a twat
like-
by asking this.
I think I'm a fine actor. It's hard to nail it at home and work when either one is difficult. So I think when all the stars are right and I'm in the right project and I believe in it, I can be very good.
The second part of that question, before we then delve into what all of that means, do you think you're beautiful?
No, but I think I didn't grow up beautiful and I kind of think I'm as beautiful as I ever was. Yeah. So having not kind of been cast or valued or had columns, you know, waxing lyrical about my luminescence and my, you know, extraordinary beauty. So it is kind of nice to be like, you know, in your 50s and you go, I think I'm as hot as I ever was, actually.
I reckon you're hot.
It might just be my fact I can't see very well. I look in the mirror and go, you're beautiful.
Oh, I don't see any lines.
Yeah, I've got just like aging so well.
No, I asked both of those because it is something that you've talked about over the years, and when you were younger, there were 2 things that you were really, really insecure about.
No, I wouldn't say I was insecure, actually. I was never insecure about my looks. I just knew my looks weren't why I was getting cast. You know, would I have got more roles if I was a different kind of, you know, feminine beauty? Yes, but... You know, you look at Demi Moore, who was so divine, and she was labelled a popcorn actress. Every time she tried to be a serious actress, it was like, oh, she's trying to be ugly to get credibility. I'm like, well, I didn't really have to try. I mean, also what Demi Moore did for women's pottery classes. Amazing.
And I love that answer, and I think that probably goes to then perceptions, right? When I read some of the stuff where, like I think you were telling Bill Hunter when you were filming Muriel's Wedding that I'm waiting for them to find out that I can't act.
Yeah.
And then you talked about beauty being, you know, about the roles that you get. That I've immediately read that as insecurity, like going, how does she not see that she's the most extraordinary actress and the most beautiful woman? But I love that that's not what that was.
No, and that insecurity in Muriel's Wedding is I did think I'd have a big career as an actor, but I didn't think I would be in the movies. So with Bill, I'm like, I think I wasn't meant to get cast in this, you know? And he was like, here's a special card. They never find out. And I've like carried that card, that little invisible card. And if I do have moments where I'm like, I shouldn't have got this role, like I'm not really this person, I just like got the Bill Hunter card and I'm like, okay.
Thank you, Bill Hunter.
Thank you, Bill. You gorgeous man.
I'm engaged.
Anyone I know?
What? Who? Tim.
Who?
What?
Tim who?
Sims.
Tim Sims. Don't know him. You've described yourself as the imperfect mother, and I need you to lay it all on the line for me so that you can just make me feel a little bit better about the decisions that I make.
I think we've all kind of embracing imperfection a bit, but I think when I was mothering, especially in America, it was a bit Big Little Lies without the reveal that it's all fake. And I was just like, I'm so ADHD, I just can never make it all look like that. The reason I look like this, and my car looks like this, and my house looks like this, and my children's hair looks like this, and their lunchboxes definitely look like, have some seaweed, throw in a carrot, don't chop it, you know, is that it's just all, you know, it's all managing and just buying into any perfection of how it should all look is what I think I used to judge myself more harshly on than I do now. I'm opening a brothel.
Hey?
Yeah. Got the idea from you, actually.
With Madam,
Yes.
the new TV series, I mean, it can't be that often that a script like that comes across your desk.
So when I get a script that is about the sex industry from the perspective of a woman who worked in it, as a comedy, I'm like, I think this is going to have the twist. When women talk about sex, it's funny. And also, I think sex is really funny. I mean, if you see two dogs at it in a park, it's like, oh, please. And
But do you look away, Rachel?
Always. But I reckon those same dogs, if they saw two people at it in a park, would go, oh, please, that is just embarrassing. They'd be apologising to the other dog going, I am so sorry. I've ended up in a cul-de-sac of weirdness.
So, you know,
again.
I didn't think you could go lower than where you started, and you just did.
I'm fully in the gutter. I'm not angry. Really? I'm actually relieved, which I'm trying not to feel bad about.
You find out your husband is seeing a sex worker.
Yeah.
And your reaction is not what one would normally expect.
Yeah, probs.
Yeah.
I don't know, I think there are some women that go, look, if he's doing that and it's all safe, that's fine. Just
Well, he's
please-
leaving me alone.
Please don't do a mum at school, because that I just don't think I could cope with. But you're right, instead of getting mad, thinks, oh, that could be a good hustle. That could be a good side hustle. We are meeting my character at just that precipice of her whole life. She's kind of given too many about too many things. The thing about menopause, I think, that doesn't get talked about is this last burst of energy where if your life doesn't look the way you want, it's I've got this rage to blow things up into...
And all I'm going to suggest there is episode 3 is unmissable when you talk about a wild ride. I mean, I learnt things, Rachel. I'm not sure I wanted to learn.
I think there's a lot of learning in this show whilst also being really funny. I think at the end of our show you'll think there's a whole thing about the NDIS and people with disabilities seeing sex workers and how the taxpayer should, you know, pay for it. But we'll pay for a psychologist. And, you know, after many of the conversations I had, I thought an hour with a really professional, tender, warm sex worker would probably leave a client a lot more happy and lighthearted than an hour with a psychologist banging on about how, you know, difficult your childhood was. So I'm all for that.
I mean, that's a bit controversial. You're putting it out there.
Putting it out there.
Yeah.
I think women provide a service, and I think it has a lot of very positive benefits for the people who choose to employ those services.
So much for ethics.
I don't think it's just about money with her. She cares about us.
We don't do lineups.
Looks like a lineup to me.
Okay, so to wrap up, okay, I promise I'm not trying to guess your password, but what's the name of your first street you lived on? No.
Oh, I know where you're
you guys-
going.
Come
with
on, just go with
this.
me.
First Street that I remember, you're going to love this, is Coronation.
Coronation, okay. And your first pet name?
Fudgy. I know it's good.
Fudgy.
It's a good one.
It's so much better
It's
than
perfect. It's so perfect.
So if you weren't the pimp on the show,
Yes.
and you were one of the workers, that would be your name.
Fudgy Coronation.
And we'll leave it at that.
We
Everyone
started
will
low
definitely-
and we are finishing low. Yeah,
Go us.
go us. I loved it. I really did. I feel like we shared a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So that was the clean version. Imagine what ended up on the cutting room floor. And Rachel's new series, Madam, starts next Tuesday after Maths on 9 and 9 Now. And honestly, what I've seen so far, it is fantastic.